I don't think I ever wanted anyone to be in the show just because, you know, just for a laugh. Their relationship unravels in the second series and is re-established, and, you know, there's things to find out about them.
And the big surprise in episode 3, something that you don't think is going to happen. And
more drama than comedy.
More drama than comedy, a little bit of acting when that episode is required.
A little bit of acting?
Absolutely.
There's some dispute over whether Bert, Ian McNeice, is Joe Absalom's father. So that's a storyline, and I'll wait to see how that's resolved.
It wasn't an affair.
What was it then?
It was just one night, but it meant nothing, right?
If you've got to miss an episode, don't miss episode 3.
All 4.
Yeah, all 4. All 5, 6, 7 or 8.
You and my dad.
If you'll excuse me, I got a washing machine and plumbing. Here!
There's also PC Mark Milo, the hapless copper who can't get a girlfriend.
I've been wondering if maybe the problem is a size thing. Apparently, no matter what a woman tells you, it does matter.
He's kind of been through most of the girls in the village, and I don't think he leaves the village a huge amount, and so he's kind of out of options really. As far as not being a bachelor anymore, and I think that's getting him down a bit.
But that was then, and this is now.
I don't know if you got my message.
PC Plod's luck seems to be on the up.
The surprise might be that a new girl comes to town, and if anyone is going to sort of bowl in there and try his luck, I guess it's the hapless PC Mark Milo.
He's got a running storyline this time, with a woman who comes into the village called Julie.
Yeah, I made a reservation for a table for 2 for tonight.
All credit to him for just sort of having another go. I guess time will tell what happened, whether he has any luck.
Actually, the actors don't even quite know how that's going to end up yet, so I'm not going to say. But that's a great storyline.
It's not funny.
One thing's for sure, on the set of Doc Martin, laughter is the best medicine.
Morning, everyone.
In the mornings, we're... Should we do that again? Oh!
I may have been alcoholic.
I'm released, as you can see, and generally on a new lease of life. So,
how do you do that?
She wanted the red colour. Out!
It's just not like working, really. It's sort of, you forget we're doing filming.
Doing this job, there's this sort of really lovely, relaxed feeling about it.
I mean, Martin is the most amazing leader of a company. But having said that, we have the most enchanting crew, all of whom are brilliant at their job and absolutely untiring. Nobody grumbles. And, of course, Ben Bolt is the most fantastic director.
It spreads from the top down, with Martin being such a nice guy.
Definitely.
It spreads through the crew and through the cast, and this is an absolute joy of a job to do.
Martin and Philip are sort of mum and dad of the whole thing. It's lovely, and there's a real family feel to the whole thing. Yeah, and I guess that would make me the adolescent teenager, maybe.
Mum and Dad make the series through their own production company, Buffalo Pictures. Unlike many couples, they aren't fazed by being together 24/7.
Well, we've done it for years, so it's absolutely fine, actually, and we get to see each other more than we would do when he's working anywhere else. And because we do different jobs, it's great. If we were both, producing or both acting, it'd probably be a disaster, but we let each other get on with it, he gets on with his thing and I get on with my thing, and it's good. It's lovely working together.
And if you're going to work together all day, it might as well be somewhere nice.
Every day it looks just different.
The sunsets here are just incredible.
But that north coast is a stunning, area.
I love it. It's so pretty.
It's just, peachy creamy.
You have to get up pretty early in the morning to take a bad picture around here.
I'm not sold on it. I'm not going to move down here. Do you know what I mean?
There's always one.
Port Isaac is it's a small fishing community, and it's beautiful. It's just the right size. We needed something that wasn't too big and wasn't too small. We found it because, as I said, Martin had filmed down here before, so we knew it. We looked at other places. We thought, well, let's just go and have a look around Cornwall and look at lots of different places.
There's never any one choice. You never tell a director that. Always give them the best one last. No, there are other villages in Cornwall, and this is closest to my house, so this is one I promote.
There's something about the North Coast which is so dramatic and quite bleak but beautiful that we just loved. And there's very, very few fishing villages on the North Coast, quite interestingly.
It's a very picturesque village with fishing boats, steep sided valleys, lots of different houses, small little alleyways, and full of interest and intrigue.
The picture postcard quality of the Cornish coast gives this show the most spectacular backdrop.
Well, it is like a film set, Port Isaac. It's very small. No two buildings are the same. It is quite difficult to find an ugly location in Port Isaac.
There's the dock surgery there with the green door. From up there, you either got the sort of higgledy-piggledy houses of Port Isaac tumbling down the hill, or you've got the drama of the coast and the sea.
The Dock Martin surgery, actually, is right opposite Louisa School, and they've kind of got this big separation of the sea between them, which is kind of says everything about their relationship. It's like, are they ever really going to bridge the gap?
That's lovely. I'd just like to say that this is one of the things that we're up against in Dock Martin on a day-to-day basis. So if you just like to pan the camera that way, look at that. What a fantastic backdrop. And that, as actors, is what we've got to fight against every single day. Marvellous.
Once again, the cast and crew have taken over Port Isaac for the summer, staying in the area and becoming part of the community.
When we're down here, it's just nice because we all live in all the sort of local cottages, so you're sort of bumping into everybody all the time, and it's quite nice.
One of the chief joys is being able to walk to work in 5 minutes, and even more importantly, to walk home or to the pub in 5 minutes at the end of the day.
The locals are quite happy about the invasion, well, most of them. Jonathan Cleave, who runs the local post office and gift shop, explains.
I would say local opinion, in fairness, is divided, really. I mean, some are very happy with it because it maybe enhances their business, or because they are able to take part as extras, or because they like the programme and they like to see their village and Cornwall on the TV. Others may be less keen because they don't like the disruption. They maybe feel that the village is nicer as a quiet Cornish fishing village as it always was.
It hasn't been terribly bad. I mean, because even when they're using the street to film, people like to stand and watch it anyway, so they don't actually mind being held up. They're all quite interested and it's quite exciting for around here.
When the design team and set dressers move in, it's more like 60-minute makeover than Dock Martin.
All they did is, at lunchtime they bought and they put 2 big racks of flowers just outside, just to cover our stock in the window, and they put some flowers just in that bit. And they came at about 4 o'clock and used the shop, but I mean, I stayed open and that, so that was fine. And only had one lady asking to buy flowers, but they weren't actually ours to sell.
We try and be as considerate as we can be. We let them know what we're going to do, and we work closely with the locals. On the whole, the village has been very welcoming and helpful, and I think they enjoy us being there, and we certainly enjoy being in the village. It's a charming place.
And the good news is that tourists are beating a path to Port Isaac like never before.
From the time it first came on last September, the amount of day trippers, which is the side of the tourist industry that mostly affects my business, increased dramatically. The sort of questions I get asked are, which is Dock Martin's house? Invariably they wander over and stand outside, staring in through the windows.
For big scenes like this, the villagers get the chance to enjoy a moment of TV fame.
I was an extra in one episode. I think I had a BAFTA for the finest nanosecond in TV.
And here is that nanosecond. And just for Jonathan, here it is again, in slow motion. Bring on that BAFTA. One thing locals might object to, of course, could be the dodgy Cornish accents.
I know that no one in Cornwall would agree that I had anything like a reasonable accent, but I think it's passable.
The way of the foot and the fist. Taekwondo.
So the accent I'm doing is an amalgamation of various West Country sounds, but rather than stock Cornish, which I think the older characters would be more likely to have.
She said it's pathetic.
Some days I'm particularly rubbish, and other days I'm even worse.
When we came back, I think we got a lot of twinkles from the locals who obviously discussed it, but between themselves. And I think the accents. I think we've always gone for an accent which is rather than actually being for real Cornish, which I think might be quite hard to understand sometimes. No offence, please, but we went for an approximation. That's the way I look at it. Don't mind him. He's a teenager.
Dad, I'm 25. 25.
When the cast and crew aren't on the streets of Port Isaac, they spend their time here on a local farm. No, they're not milking cows on their day off. In fact, they're shooting scenes inside the giant barn.
We have our production office, we built our sets, we've got our doctor's surgery, his waiting room, his kitchen, his bedroom, in an old grain store, which when I first saw a few years ago was just piled high with grain and pigeons, and I thought I had to do a huge leap of imagination to think, could we, and I thought, yeah, I think we could, and it's worked really well.
Because it's a location we're in a lot of the time, we wanted to have control, so we decided quite early on to build the interior of Doc's cottage. So once we found an exterior, we then had to match the features of doors and windows of whatever we built inside. But lots of the houses in Cornwall are very small, as we're finding, and when you're shooting, you just need more space. So again, to build a set, to have walls that break away, helps us greatly.
I do like our standing sets. They're designed so that every which way you look, it looks slightly different. So you never feel that you're kind of filming in a box, which you often do in ordinary rooms.